Hello again everyone and welcome to the Roll-Off Strategy Guide. If you want to see me play Fall Guys on twitch.tv, there's a link in the comments section below. I'd love to see you. So the starting position for Roll-Off, not important whatsoever. The randomness, low. Sometimes you can get large gaps in certain rings, but you get plenty of time to observe them before they become dangerous. The technicality is medium. You do have to be good when things start to get really fast. You have to be on your toes and you have to know how to maneuver between the rings efficiently. So moving on to the strategy section, we've got the early, mid and late game. So in this finale, I like to split up my strategies based on early game, mid game and late game. The early and mid game is all about surviving other players like grabbers and observing what sort of rings there are. And the late game is all about handling the speed of the rings and outlasting your opponents. So the most important thing in Roll-Off is to stay away from incoming gaps during all stages of the level, but I find more so in the early and mid stages where people are more grab happy. You have to be very careful of incoming gaps and the possibility that you can get grabbed and eliminated from being near an incoming gap. So if you consider that an incoming gap has like a danger zone, so that if a player grabs you in this zone, they can hold on to you until you fall down, the range of the danger zone increases as the rings go faster, and the gaps approach you faster, requiring less time to hold onto somebody to kill them. So on the left example, we've got the early game speed, and there's a small danger zone, so you kind of want to stay out of there if there's other players near you. On the right hand side, when the game speeds up a bit and the rings go a bit faster, the incoming gaps are going to come towards you faster, so holding onto somebody further away means the gap's still going to reach you. So as the rings get faster, it's easier to kill somebody with grabbing, so just be hyper aware of that. If there's anyone near you, try and get behind them so they can't grab you and kill you. So the next strategy is to remember any large gaps. Sometimes when you play Roll-Off, gaps can be really large, and so during the early game you want to try and remember where these are, whether on the blue ring or the yellow ring, and try and plan for them when the late game happens. Normally if there's a large ring, it means the games won't go on for very long because it catches a lot of people out when things start to get a bit speedy. You can sort of plan for them if you remember if it's on the blue ring or it's on the yellow ring, and sort of say, right, okay, there's a large gap coming now and I need to sort of stay on this one for a long time. What's good to note is that it doesn't change when it goes into the slime, so it will keep appearing over and over again, so you can plan for it. So the final strategy for Roll-Off is to stay close to the middle. As the late game approaches and the slime rises and the rings get faster, the best practice is to stay close to the middle seam between the two rings. This is so you can quickly transfer back and forth between the two rings without having to run a long way, which could get you killed. So staying close to the middle when the game gets in its final stages will help you maneuver and stay on top. So moving on to the tips and tricks section now, and the first tip is the single ring strategy. So during the early and mid game, you could just stay on a single ring, say like stay on the blue ring, and just keep jumping over the gaps until you meet a wall and then switch. The main reason you do this is to just avoid other players. Just try and stay away from them, you know. Everyone's moving back and forth and going crazy. You're just jumping over the rings. It's an option, you know, just to stay away from them. Just be very aware if any player comes near you. They may grab you as you try to jump and kill you. The second tip is to keep your feet firmly planted. During the late game, it's better not to jump at all, but simply run back and forth across the rings, across the seam. Jumping will likely make you go in an unwanted direction, as it kind of treats you as jumping on a ramp, and you'll sort of get momentum as you go back down. So jumping can knock you over, it can make you do like a ramp boost that you don't want and make you go into the slime, so it's just really not good to jump. Jumping is the last resort and it's like a Hail Mary, I'm about to die, I need to jump, and hopefully it works out. Overall though, keep your feet firmly planted towards the end game and just keep running, and it works out a lot better. Tip number 3 is grabbing to win. So keep an eye out during the late game for anyone coming right behind you when they're closer to the incoming gap. Because the rings are going so fast, you can grab them and carry them quite a long way. If it's a 1v1 situation, it's worth going for. If it's 2v1, I wouldn't recommend doing it, as you probably will get knocked into the slime yourself in some form. So if it's 1v1, you could always go for grab win if you want to. So that is it for the strategy and tips and tricks for Roll-Off. A nice finale. I think it's quite good. It is quite an intense finale. It's kind of like Jump Club, but a little bit more involved all the way through, which I like. So thanks for watching. Have a look at the clips to come, which show you good examples on how to play Roll-Off, and any bad examples if I can find them. And take care. I'll see you again very soon. Hesitant is the word that I want. Okay, are you ready? Right, so because it's slow, understanding that that massive gap is going to appear several times. So this game can't really go the full distance, I don't think. Because when the slime gets high enough, you're not going to be able to avoid that much gap, I think. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be going so fast and you're going to be sticking on this side, so you won't be able to stay on this side for very long. And so when that massive gap comes, you're going to have to move over, but you can't move over because of the massive gap. So I feel like the game's going to come down to mistakes or grabbing. Because we can't go that low when the slime's getting higher. So just bear that in mind. It might be nice to sort of remember the big gap's on the yellow, isn't it? Or is it on the blue? That's what I want to know now. Big gap's on this bit. Oh dear. Okay, so the big gap's on the blue. So we're going to try to remember that. Okay. We're getting sort of fast, so we'll stick here. Big gap's on the blue. Nice. There you go. So I jumped over the gap because I knew that big gap on the blue was going to turn up, so beautiful. Hi, still playing Fall Guys? No, this is the new Call of Duty. So, roll off. Early game. Early game is grabbing, really. That's the only strategy there is to it. Otherwise, just, you know, play normal rollout. Medium game is also grabbing, or play normal rollout. It's easier in the mid game to grab. What you want to do is stay away from the incoming edges. Okay? The faster the blocks go, the easier it is to grab somebody and kill them. So there's like a danger zone on any incoming edges, and the danger zone of where you could get grabbed and killed gets bigger as the thing gets faster. Okay, we're still in sort of like the early mid game, just approaching, I think. That was nice, a bit dangerous there actually. Wow, we've only got 2 left. Are you kidding me? So people are really going to go for grabs here. I wonder if these people are on teams. I don't know. They seem to be friendly with each other. I don't know. As we start getting into the late game, stay closer to the middle like this. So you can just switch across. And that's going to be basically, holy crap, how you win. You could grab people, but I don't feel like I'm very good at that. Obviously, the faster it gets, the easier it is to grab. And we just need to keep transferring across back and forth. That's what I would consider an easy game. That wasn't a hard game. Normally, if you get a hard game in a real good lobby, it goes up a lot more. Does it time out? I have no idea. The slime goes up, so the space you've got to move is like severely reduced. And I'll call that an easy game. Don't know where 7 of the 9 people went so early, but yeah, that was nice. Nice example there, I think. I mean, it's like football, right? It's like football. Only the strikers get the glory. The goalie doesn't get any glory. The defenders don't get any glory. The strikers are the ones that get all the glory, because it's always like, oh, Ronaldo scored 1,000 goals this season. Oh, this guy's only scored 780. This person scored 500 goals, so that's why he's third. Like, yeah, but I can't score any goals because I'm a defender. I'm a goalie. I can't score any goals. So, like, yeah, only the person carrying the penguin gets the glory. I'm sorry. Am I right? I think I'm right. I'm pretty right. Right then. One person's dead. This is rollout? Yeah, you only get 2 beams. You can tell it's finale because the things are gold. Some of the things are gold. That's a bit weird. Not all of them. That one's blue. Want to stay at sort of the front area here so I can't be grabbed. Or if I am grabbed, I don't lose. This is a bad place to be. Not too bad. Right, is he... I don't know what side he's on. he's like Schrodinger's Peabody. He's on both sides of the wall at the same time. Okay, so now the strat is to stay close to the edge here. People generally can't push you sideways. They'll normally grab you and push you forward and back, so staying close to the edge, you just got to be careful about people bumping into you, which will happen, but you know, I always say this one doesn't have a whole lot of strategy to it, but it has a lot of intense gameplay. You've got to be good at just playing, you know, in order to win this one, I think. Oh, getting pushed. Yeah, this one's crazy. Oh, oh, yes. That was my demise there. I'm afraid that was my demise. But I mean, I guess that is the strategy, right? Just moving back and forth. I don't think jumping works. I jumped there because it looked like I was going to lose, and that fraction of a second that I jumped made me win. So there you go. Thanks for sparing my feelings. Most of the criticisms came from my lack of love for anime in general, to be honest. But I would generally say, yeah. How old were you when you did those then? Because I mean, my artwork isn't any better. Like, one of the main things you do when you're younger, I might be putting my foot in the mouth because he hasn't answered how old he was yet. One of the things you do when you're younger is you draw very forward-facing stuff, flat stuff. Stuff that doesn't have any depth to it because you can't do angles. Angles are very difficult. So my deviant art was all, you know, was all very much flat. I can show you that again, and I criticise my own work as well, you know. It's a shame I can't show you some of the artwork I've done for school. I've drawn several of the children and give it to them as gift before, and that was really nice. I also drew Sub-Zero in very photorealistic way, which was really good. But I gave those away, so I don't have them anymore. Right, we'll stay close to the middle. This looks like it's going to be quite hard to win. Yeah, he saw me grabbing him then. Oh dear.